Hello dear students. Today we'll continue chapter number 11 of our English grammar book, Essentials of English Grammar and Composition. And name of the chapter is Verbs Non-finite Forms. So here in this chapter we will discuss non-finite forms of the verb. And these are the three kinds of non-finite forms, which are the infinitive, the participle and the gerund. Out of the three, we have already discussed the infinitive in the part 1 of the video. Today we will discuss the participle and the gerund. But before that, let me remind you the definition of non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are those verbs which doesn't perform any action in the sentence. If they are not performing any action, then what do? They may be working as an adjective or an adverb or a noun in the sentence. And if the words which look like word are working as an adjective in the sentence, then such non-finite verbs are known as participle. Look at the sentence. Nobody could enter the burning house. Here, burning word is looking like a verb but is not performing any action in the sentence. So here it is working like an adjective for the word house. So the words which look like verb but perform the work of an adjective are known as participle. Now, kinds of participle. Participle are of two kinds: present participle and past participle. If the words which are formed by adding ing to the root form of the verb, means first form of the verb, are working like an adjective in a sentence, then it is present participle. Like the waiting guests. Here, waiting is formed by adding ing to the verb wait, and here it is working like an adjective. So here it is present participle. And in past participle form is used like verb's second form, and it will work like an adjective. Like the broken window had to be replaced. Here broken is second form of the verb break, but here it is not performing any action. It is used as an adjective in the sentence, and it is an adjective for the noun window. So here it is a verbal adjective which is known as participle. So we can understand it by this definition. A word which is like a verb but performs the work of an adjective is called a participle. Now, the past participle denotes a complete action or a state which is over, like the injured man. The man is already injured, so here the action of becoming injured is completed. So past participle is used to denote a complete action, and it is always used, or it is formed from a transitive verb. Transitive verb means those verbs which require an object to convey its meaning. So here, having completed her work, she went to sleep. Here we have used perfect participle, because participle are not only of two kinds, there is third kind also, that is perfect participle, in which we use ing form and past participle together. So here when an action is completed, having completed her work, she went to sleep. The perfect participle represents an action that was completed at some point of time in the past. So here there are three participle: present participle, past participle and perfect participle. Now, what is the use of the participle? It can be used to join two sentences. In which situation? In the situation when two actions are happening at the same time, then we can join the two sentences by using participle. Like the boy saw a train, the train was coming in his direction. So it's very easy to join such kind of sentences when the object of first sentence is the subject of second sentence. Then we can easily remove the subject of second sentence, like the boy saw a train coming in his direction. This is a use of participle to join two sentences. But it is not so that always we will find such sentences when two actions are happening together. Sometimes we have to join those sentences in which one action is completed, then another one is started. In such cases, we will use perfect participle. Like he had spent all his money, he wrote to his father for help. Now we use the continuous form of the participle because one action is in continuous process. Like having spent all his money, he wrote to his father for help. Here we have used perfect participle form of the verb. So we convert the verb denoting the first of the actions into the perfect participle. This is a use of participle to join two sentences. Now what have we learned? We have learned that besides being a verb, the participle is an adjective also. But we have to remember that the adjective which is indicating a noun, it should be written along with that noun of which it is being used. Like working in her office, a strange noise disturbed her. Now read out the next one. Working in her office, she was disturbed by a strange noise. Or perhaps as when she was working in her office, a strange noise disturbed her. So here we have to remember that of which thing the adjective is used for which noun, it should be indicating to that noun only. Now the last one, that is the gerund. Gerund is also the ing form of the verb, but it doesn't work like an adjective in the sentence, rather it works like an noun in the sentence. How? Like dancing is good for health. Here dancing is ing form of the verb, but here it is not performing any action, so it is not lurking like a verb. It is a word which is looking like a verb but performing the work of a noun. So here a word which is like a verb but performs the work of a noun is called gerund, or we can say that a gerund is a verbal noun which is made of a verb but works like a noun in the sentence is known as gerund. So in short we can keep it, remember, a gerund is a verbal noun and we can use articles a, an and the, possessive adjective like my, your, or words like some, many before the gerund, like the climbing was over by 10 am. Here we have used the article before the gerund. Jiren can have their own adjective like her melodious singing. Here melodious is an adjective for the gerund singing. Gerunds can have their own objects like spreading rumors is a crime. So here it is having its own object also. Gerunds can be used after some verbs where the infinitive cannot be used. Like students stopped to write when the bell rang. It is a wrong sentence. The correct is the student stopped writing when the bell rang. Now the difference between the gerund and the present participle. A gerund is a verbal noun and present participle is a verbal adjective, because ing form of the verb is used in gerund as well as in present participle. So this thing you will have to remember, that if ing form of the verb is working like an adjective in the sentence, then it is a present participle, but if it is working like a noun in the sentence, then it is gerund. Like I am tired of your grumbling. Here in sentence 1 it is working like a noun, so here it is gerund. But grumbling children are not liked. Here grumbling is working like an adjective. So here it is working as a present participle in the sentence. Now look at the sentence. Children love to dream. Here the infinitive in the sentence can be replaced by gerund. How? Children love dreaming. For that the rule is we can use either the infinitive or the gerund after these verbs. Which are the verbs? To begin, to start, to try, to learn. These are the verbs. After those we can either use infinitive or gerund. Read out these two sentences also to make the things clear. The teacher was angry at Anju coming late. It is not giving the proper sense. Rather, it should be written like the teacher was angry at Anju's coming late. It is a right form of writing this sentence. Now, similarly, it is incorrect to say they didn't like me getting the prize. Here it is not telling the right way of doing the action. The correct form is they didn't like my getting the prize. The thing which we are learning by this example is that when a noun or a pronoun denoting a living being is placed before a gerund, it must be in the possessive case. This is what we have learned about gerund. Thank you. This is how our chapter is completed.